Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special channel update with Zebu Nation. And today I want to talk about Warhammer 40,000. Now, the reason I want to talk about this in terms of a channel update is because you may have noticed recently in the last few months my channel has been pretty much nothing but Football Manager. Now, what does that have to do with Warhammer 40,000? Well, we'll get around to that, but the reason it's been all Football Manager is because the Football Manager videos are pretty popular on my channel, and they're easy to make. You know, I just sit down, play a game, talk into the mic, hit record, all that. It's done and over with in a half an hour. I have almost no editing to do because I just talk stream of consciousness. And the game just kind of lends itself at this point to me being able to talk and talk and talk without any need for editing. So that's why it's been all Football Manager, because those videos are easy, and because the rest of my time the rest of my spare time, that is, has been taken up by Warhammer 40,000. Now, not the game you're seeing here in the background, which I'll mention in a minute, but the actual like tabletop game, the hobby, as people who play the game call it. And it is a time expensive hobby, if that makes sense. It's a money expensive hobby as well. But basically, you know, when you play Warhammer 40,000, the tabletop game, you have to buy the miniatures, of course, and then build them and paint them, and then of course try to play the games, which take a long time as well. So I've been really wrapped up in Warhammer 40k. As you can see here, I've been playing video games based off of it. I've been reading novels and all that kind of stuff. So it's really sort of taken over my spare time at the moment. But, you know, I don't want this channel to be nothing but Football Manager, although I do have a lot of Football Manager fans who subscribe to the channel. But I'd like to have some other content out there as well. So I'm going to try to incorporate a lot of that Warhammer stuff into the channel, see if I can start building a little bit of a Warhammer channel as well. But then there are a lot of other games coming out very soon. Some of them already out that I just haven't played because I haven't, you know, I've been doing just this. So as far as a channel update goes, right now it's been all Football Manager, but I got a lot of stuff coming up that I want to get to. So we're going to have, like I mentioned, a couple of Warhammer series, I guess. We're going to have a video game series to sort of show a bunch of the different games. And then, you know, I'm going to try to put in some actual hobby stuff as well. Maybe not like painting and stuff like that, because I'm not great at that at the moment. But just like, you know, battle reports and updates and my thoughts on products and things like that. But in terms of video games, which is what this channel mostly is, I mean, there's a lot coming out that I want to make videos for. There's a new game. I'm going to try to put in some footage of that on top of this. Well, I guess let's talk about this game first, since you're watching it and this is what's on the screen. This is Warhammer 40,000 Space Wolf. And it's a game that came out last year in 2017 for PC. It's by a developer named HeroCraft. And it's actually a pretty old game. It came out originally on mobile, on iOS in 2014, and then came out in Android in 2015. And then they took a year off to develop it for the PC. And they actually redeveloped it, you know, significantly. And they added a bunch of stuff, and it's got some pretty decent reviews on Steam. And so I decided to check it out, and it is actually a fun, if limited, turn-based tactical game. So if you like that sort of simple turn-based tactics, you just got a 3-Marine squad, and you have a little mission to complete. And it is, like I said, based on an iOS game, so it's how do I put this? It's like satisfying to play. You know, it's not in-depth, it's not like crunchy. It is difficult. It does have a high difficulty curve. But I think that high difficulty curve is part of what keeps you coming back, and that's what it's designed to do. So if you got like 5 or 10 minutes that you want to knock out a game, pop open Space Wolves, play a mission, you know, 5-10 minutes, get a little turn-based tactics going, and then you're done. You know, I can't recommend this as sort of like a huge in-depth game, even though it does have a kind of a campaign, which we're playing right here, one of the campaign missions. But the missions are very limited, very linear, and like I said, it's not a game that I'm sitting here and saying, oh, you gotta buy this game. I'm just saying that it's, you know, it's okay as sort of a time waster game, or if you really like Warhammer 40,000 and you just want to, you know, jump in with some Space Wolves and shoot some stuff, then this is a good game. But in terms of the other games I want to play, we're going to get back to those. There's a couple that I've already purchased that I haven't played yet, but I've been really looking forward to. And number one on that list right now is Phantom Doctrine. You've probably seen a few videos out there. There are a couple of people out there who are making videos of it. And I think, I don't remember exactly who's been making it. I don't want to say some names if I can't remember. But there are some YouTube creators out there who have made some look-ats of Phantom Doctrine. And it's basically, it looks a lot like an XCOM clone. It is very, very XCOM, which is good for me because I love the XCOM formula. I think it's a great formula that everyone should copy, quite frankly. But the twist on this is that it is during the Cold War, and it's got nothing to do with aliens, at least I don't think so. It's all to do with CIA versus KGB, and you're like trying to build up this spy network, and you've got these little spies, and you send them on XCOM style missions. But instead of like going somewhere and trying to kill all the aliens or whatever, you're trying to sneak in places, maybe assassinate somebody, maybe steal some valuable documents, brainwash somebody, kidnap somebody. It's got all these sort of, you know, spy missions that you have to go on. So it looks really cool. I've watched some videos on it. I haven't played it yet, but I definitely want to put up some videos of it, at very least a let's play or a let's look at of Phantom Doctrine. Then another one that just came out today, August 28th. Actually, there's two that just came out today on August 28th. Strange Brigade is one I've been looking forward to. It's a third-person co-op shooter where it's you're like a team of investigators. Well, not investigators. It's like sort of a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen kind of thing where you're these explorers and there's some sort of mummy's curse, and you got to run around these maps and like shoot all these mummies and zombies and stuff and try to collect artifacts. It's got a little bit of Tomb Raider in there. It's got a little bit of Nathan Drake style action, and it looks really good. It's very colorful. The art is very good. The animation, everything like that. You know, it's top quality graphics. So I want to give that a try. Maybe try it out with some of my friends as well. But we'll see about that. That is Strange Brigade. Then there's a weird, cute little sort of physics puzzle game that just came out. It's like if you're paying attention to indie developers, this is like the first game of this new wave of indie titles that's coming out. You've probably seen them on the ad for the Switch. A lot of these games are coming out to the Switch because they're cute, they're fun, they're sort of family friendly, right? There's not a lot of like violence or grim dark or anything like that like you get here with Warhammer 40,000. But this game is called Donut County, and the basic premise of the game is that you are a hole in the ground. You're a sentient hole in the ground, and you're trying to like collect items from this weird little place called Donut County. And as you collect these items, your hole in the ground gets bigger and bigger. It's kind of like a Katamari-inspired game. So I want to check that out just to see. It looks really fun, really cute, really short. And there's a few of those games coming out, like Ooblets is coming out, Minako's Night Market is coming out, and you know, several of those kind of games. Then there's another one that I already have a video recorded for. I just haven't, I got to redo the audio because I was not happy with it at all. It's a Kickstarter strategy game that I've invested in on Kickstarter. It's called Iron Harvest. It's based on a board game, which is based on a series of illustrations that are basically like early 19th century picturesque watercolor paintings, like picture farmers in a European field gathering the crops, right? So it's that sort of pastoral imagery, but then sprinkled in is this weird steampunk giant mech, like armored cavalry and infantry and all this sort of war imagery in the background of this idyllic European setting. So there was a series of those images that on the internet that eventually got turned into a book, and then it got turned, you know, like an art book basically, and then that art book got turned into a board game called Iron Harvest, and they created this whole world around this artwork, and now they're turning that board game into a video game. Again, it's turn-based military strategy, and it looks very cool. I've played the beta. I got access to the beta through Kickstarter, and I'll have that video up, I don't know when, but hopefully soon. Then, of course, I want to get back to playing some of my favorites. I want to get back to playing Blood Bowl, PUBG. You know, I'm still playing PUBG like once a week or so with my friends. You know, it's just a way to keep in touch with everybody. And there have been some updates to PUBG and, you know, some cool stuff going on. So I want to keep that going. And then, of course, there's all the 40K stuff. Not just the tabletop games that I mentioned, but there's also a lot of 40K video games. Right now, there's a game out called Armageddon that I just purchased. Again, it's turn-based, massive turn-based war game. It's not like a squad tactic game like this. It's like huge armies fighting on huge maps, and it looks pretty cool. There's a lot of DLC for it. It's been out for a while, but I want to check it out. And then there's a Diablo-type Warhammer game called Inquisitor. Just came out earlier this year. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty fun. I think I've also purchased that. Yes, I see it on my Steam list right now. I've purchased that one. I just haven't played it yet. It's called Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr. Again, it's like a Diablo-style click and kill kind of game. And then finally, a game that's coming out, I think, later this year, maybe early 2019, is called Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus. And this one, I've seen some early alpha of it. I think it's in beta right now, but I'm not sure. But it is another XCOM style game where you have a squad of Mechanicus priests, tech priests, and you're sort of invading this Necron tomb world. And you know, it's got like the Hollow Globe, and it's got squads, and it's got, you know, upgrade and technology and all the kind of XCOM tropes you would want, but it's got a lot of neat twists to it as well. So it's not a direct XCOM clone, but it's got, you know, a lot of similar XCOM stuff. And as I mentioned at the top, I'm a big fan of that XCOM style. So anytime somebody puts out an XCOM style game, I'm going to take a look at it. And speaking of XCOM and XCOM style games, the original creators of XCOM have successfully kickstarted Xenonauts 2. Xenonauts 1 was a sort of retro throwback to the original XCOM. It's got a lot more crunchy tactics, incredibly difficult. The graphics were not as good as the new updated XCOM that came out from Firaxis, but all the strategy that you could ever want is there, and they've successfully kickstarted the sequel. I believe it's in alpha or pre-alpha right now, although I didn't really kickstart this one myself, or didn't help kickstart it, didn't contribute to the Kickstarter. So I don't really know where it's at in terms of development, but it is there. It is coming out at some point. So that's it. So many games to look at and to possibly make videos of and put up here on the channel. So hopefully that gives you an idea of where I've been and what I've been doing and what I hope to do in the future. Yeah, a lot of new games. Still going to do the Football Manager. Got FM 19 coming out, of course, so we're still going to continue with that. And, yeah, a lot of Warhammer stuff. So get ready for that. I guess that's it for this update. So, yeah, that's it. Until next time, until the next video, whenever that is, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.